Integrating productive and receptive skills. Proficiency level, intermediate and up. This lesson can be modified to meet the student's proficiency level by simplifying it, making the questions much simpler to understand, or even writing something with a simple storyline, with fewer characters, making it easier for students to pinpoint what is being asked for them to look for in a story. We want to provide students with the opportunity to work on their productive and receptive skills in an activity lesson. As teachers, we find this approach a lot more beneficial than teaching one skill alone. For that reason, in this lesson, we will not only include productive skills such as speaking and writing, but receptive skills such as listening and reading as well. The purpose of this lesson is to provide the opportunity for students to work on their productive skills in one lesson. The intention is to work on speaking and writing in one lesson instead of teaching them in two separate classes. The material that we will need for this lesson will be a projector and a reading text uh, that will be used during this class. The reading text, it goes by the title the runaway bunny. The time for this lesson is around 40 to 50 minutes. Uh, what we want to get from students is we want them to identify the different elements finding a story. And for that, we are going to teach students in a general way about what makes up a story and its different elements, hoping that at the end they will have a clear idea of what to look for in stories, becoming critical thinkers and not just passive readers and movie watchers. For the pre-activity or the warm-up, we want to start off the class with a question. The question we want to use to engage the students is, what is a story? With this, we want students to participate. We want all the students to participate, especially those that are shy. For this, we're not looking for a perfect answer. What we want the students to break the ice with this question and start talking. Yeah, whatever they say, just take it as something positive. That's what we want. We want students to feel comfortable speaking, regardless of the answer they give you. Of course, everything has to be in a respectful manner. Um, so we take in any question that the students give us, and we just write it down on the board. We want students to feel that whatever they say is being taken seriously by the teacher. Not just We're not just looking for one good answer or one perfect answer. We just want to take everyone's answer as important as the others. So in this, we looking for any answer, but especially if possible, we want students to give us a general idea of what a story is. For this, we can take answers such as the recount of an event. We can take as characters as being good, evil kind of thing. Uh, we can take different elements that the students may answer. Remember, most of the students do not know the elements that we're gonna talk about. They don't know them of what they are. Maybe they know them unconsciously, but they don't know them by name. So they kind of know things like character and theme, but that's about it. That's all they know in a story. Uh, After getting general answers from students, we want to move on into the vocabulary. In the vocabulary section, we want to include the element names that are found in a story. Some of those vocabulary words will be setting, plot, characters, antagonist, minor character, point of view, and theme. Those will be like the general elements that are found in a story. Most students might probably know a couple of them, but not all of them. So what we want to do, we want to write down the vocabulary words on the board and have students answer them for you instead of you for them. We want them to work. We want them to think. So what you want to do is write the word setting and ask anyone, does anyone know what setting means? If by any chance no one knows what that word means, then you're gonna give them like a general idea. Just tell them that a setting is the place where the story happens. The setting could be a forest, could be a house, could be a hospital. A setting is not limited. A setting is composed of many places in a story. So we can go down the list until we give a specific answer. Unless the students give you a general one, which is fine. That's what we want. We want students to participate by answering the various vocabulary words that we give them. In this case, we're gonna give them around seven vocabulary words that we're hoping that they answer by themselves. After providing them with a general idea of the elements, what I would like to do, I want to do, is present them with a PowerPoint that I made. This is what I consider my authentic material for this lesson. The PowerPoint intention is that we want to introduce, after giving them the definition of the vocabulary words, we want to introduce the elements of a story through a movie that most students are familiar with. And this story, it's about Harry Potter. It has a Harry Potter theme. So we want to use this movie reference to give students a clear example of what elements are found in movies, especially a movie that they're familiar with. Again, we are exercising students' receptive and productive skills by providing them with a visual material which will be used for students to work on their speaking abilities mainly, because this PowerPoint will be presenting them with a series of questions that they will have to answer. Just to give them a general idea what elements are found in the story. So, just to give you a rundown what the material I made. Let me. Oh, hold on. And well, the 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 PowerPoint pretty much has a Harry Potter. I just couldn't show you. Sorry. Has a Harry Potter theme. It has a Harry Potter music background that just about anyone that listens to this theme without telling them what the video is about, they pretty much will catch up and know that it's a Harry Potter video presentation. So basically, it talks about the characters, and we talk about some of the main character, and we talk about who the villain is. We talk about all the minor characters that are the Harry Potter's friends, and then we have like the antagonists in the stories. We have like the major villain, and then we have like the minor villain, like the people that make up the evil side of the story. And we talk about the setting, the many places. Talk about Howard's, the School of Magic. We talk about Private Drive, the place where Harry Potter grew up in. And we have a series of pictures that we ask students if they recognize it, and if they recognize it, you ask them to tell you what those places are. So we introduce setting, we introduce characters as well, and we also talk about what the movie is about, what are the problems found in the movie, how those problems solve, and things like that. So pretty much we're using this PowerPoint to engage students, not only engage them, but kind of give them an introduction of the elements in a story. Once we show that, we move on to the main activity, or the during activity. In this part, we are asking students to go around the room and ask other students. Only they have to look for two students. What they have to do is they have to go around the room and ask their students to tell them a story. The story can be about anything. The story can be horror, comedy, or can even be a gossip. Uh, Only have to be two stories from two different students. What we want students to do is listen to the story and figure out if they can pinpoint the different elements found in them. We're talking about setting, characters, the storyline, of course, what happens in it, and things like that. Uh, Once they done listening to that and figuring out the different elements found in them, they have to pick one of the stories and go back to the storyteller, the story that they like from that person, and tell them why they like that story so much. That's all they have to do in this section. So we are using their listening and their speaking ability. So they're being told a story, they're listening, and their speaking ability, they are giving a feedback. They're telling the student, the one that told them the story in the first place, why they like their story so much. So receptive and productive skills being used here. After that, for the post activity, we want students to look at a children's story called "The Runaway Bunny" by Margaret Wise Brown. The reason I picked this story is because the story is perfect for intermediate and below students. Since the sentences are simple and short, the writing being repetitive with its sentences, making it perfect for the second language student, where the repetition is a key element in order to take what is being learned to long-term memory. So that is the reason I picked this story. It's simple, it's repetitive, and the sentences are really short. So it's perfect for second language learners. The vocabulary here is used in this children's story. It's simple, and on top of that, the story itself is pretty short. So what students have to do here, they need to apply their acquired knowledge by taking a story apart and look for the elements that are found in them. That's all they have to do, is that they have to read and look for the elements found in them, write them on a piece of paper, and that'll be it. So that's in this exercise right here. That's what is being expected from them. Once they're done with this, the last activity attached to this is that I will be providing students with magazines, and in those magazines they will look for a picture. Once they find a picture with no words in them, a picture that they like of any type, they will cut it out. Once they cut it out, they're gonna glue it to the top part of a paper. And what they have to do, they have to work with their imagination. They have to create a simple short story, including as many of the elements that they learn. They have to create characters. To make it simple, the character cannot be more than 3. So they can have 2 or 3, but no more than 3. They have to have a character, a setting, a storyline, and an ending. That's all. That's all that we will be requiring from our students. Once they're done with that activity, they're going to turn in their work, and now the teacher will jump in and work with students based on the story that they learn. Now it's time for the teacher to ask them what they know, what they learned from the story of the runaway bunny. The teacher is gonna ask now if someone can tell the setting or the settings in the story. Some of the answers could be for setting could be stream, mountain, garden, etc. Uh, if someone can tell me or tell the teacher what the story is about, what's the plot? Actually, what's the plot in the story? So they can tell the students can tell that the story is about a bunny who wants to run away, but his mother tells him that if he does, she's gonna go after him. No matter where he goes, she's always going to find him and bring him back. Sorry. The other question will be how many characters are in the story and who are they? So the characters are the bunny and the mother. Is there an antagonist in the story? Not a person per se, but the antagonist could be like the constant desire to run away with no reason at all or reason behind it. From what point of view is the story being told? The story is being told from a third point of view. And finally, what is the main theme in the Runaway Bunny? The theme in the story is the ever protecting maternal love. And with this lesson, what we not only taught our students to think critically next time that they read a book or watch a movie, looking for pinpointing the villain, the main character, the setting, the point of view is being told from a third person. If there was a conclusion to the story, or it was unconcluded, and things like that. So we not only taught students that, but we also help them work with their receptive and productive skills, which are speaking, writing, listening, and reading. And with this, I will conclude my lesson. Thank you.